By ma'am, and let me introduce myself. I'm Shruti Pandit. I am a subtitle pageant winner, Miss and Mrs. Internations Singapore and Miss India from World Imperial Beauties USA. And it's a very important topic. I want to add on to what just ma'am said, that what we can do to combat the issue of inequality. See, right now I'm a software engineer working with an American company, and we have seen that companies are taking a special step in this direction. They are forming CSR bodies. At least 20% of the funds are reserved for the issues like women empowerment, for underprivileged children. So if you are working in any company, I would sincerely urge you to go and visit the wings wherein all those philanthropic activities are taking place, altruistic activities are taking place, and do something. Start an association like how she has started for women empowerment. Go and visit the circle of your influence. So it doesn't have to be a very fancy NGO, but if you have a maid at your home, or if you have a little kid, a poor girl who is unable to fund her education, just go and visit her. Take the responsibility of teaching her. So that's how we can form a chain, and that's how we can combat this issue of gender inequality. Start with your circle of influence. Okay, that's the least we can do. So that's only I wanted to add.
Ekta, I would like to add to what she said. I'm her.
Suddenly a story popped up in my mind. All of you must have heard of Terari Trent. So this was a Zimbabwean woman, and she was featured in an interview with Oprah. And all of you know Oprah for her interviews, life-changing interviews and inspirational interviews that she conducts. So Terari Trent was a village woman, and she was so much interested in studies that she used to complete homework of her brother. She was not allowed to go to school at that point of time. So I'm talking about 1980s and 1990s. So when the teacher spotted that the quality of the homework that is expected out of that boy was too good, and she went and visited the father, and then they came to know that it is the girl who's completing the homework. So she really pleaded the father that please send her to school. So she could go to school, but only for a few years, and then after that she was married just because of it was the bride price that was paid in the village, and that was just for a cow. So for a cow she was married, but she had this will in her that she wanted to do something. She was beaten badly by her husband. What she did, that she wrote her dreams on a chit, and she buried it somewhere. But luckily, she got the opportunity to visit the USA with her husband, and she did her PhD. Her husband again abused her because she was completing her education, and then police somehow found out and she got divorced. But just because she had a dream that was buried somewhere in Zimbabwe, in Africa, she could do her PhD, and right now she is running a very big organization. Featured at multiple places with Hollywood stars, and she has started a school back in her village to support other women like her. So it's a dream. We also heard in the morning by the coach, Miss Shuchi, that if you have a dream, you can achieve anything. So I highly recommend you go and find out about this woman, Terari Trent, and read her story. Highly inspiring.
We can have a round of applause.
Listening to whatever we are saying, but if we can inspire at least one person out of all the discussion that we are having throughout the day, I think that can make a big difference, and that can bring in a change in the mindset, right?
All right, so as a moderator, would you like to add the last lines to this discussion?
First of all, big round of applause for all of us. We are working in all seasons. Thank you, ma'am, for your
Mentioned about sensitivity. I think in education there is one more area or facet that we should focus on. We are just focusing on intellectually developing a child, but there is a term known as emotional intelligence. And when we talk about sensitivity, I think this particular facet should be included in education, so that even men would become more sensitive towards women's issue. This is something that is totally ignored. And people have started working on it. If they have, yes. If they have, yes, but in corporate sector, I still see there is a huge lag when emotional intelligence is. So EQ is equally important. I think we should start looking in that direction, and if we have already started, that's a great thing.
We have started on this. Why we talk about education when we all talk about these sensitive issues which are spread, which are all across the nation. It is not just in India, by the way.